Content creation is a cruel, shallow money trench, a long hallway where thieves and pimps roam free and good men die like dogs. There's also a negative side.
I have a huge giveaway to share with you guys, but first let me show you this gadget that I always leave in my truck.
Are you an off-the-grid type of character? The kind of guy that turns off his phone and heads off into the woods for a few days not to be bothered? But while you're out there living off the grid, sometimes you kind of need energy for your phone, just in case.
That's why Modern Needs Sun-Charged Supernova might just be perfect for you.
It has a built-in solar and wall outlet. It uses 2 USB power ports and weighs only 16 ounces. It comes with built-in magnets and carabiners. This is perfect for any situation, especially if you're out and about and on the go. Your phone's dead, hook it up to your backpack, let the sun charge it while you're still hiking. I've partnered with Modern Needs to give one of you a $5,000 dream vacation
For anyone that purchases a Sun-Charged Supernova battery bank.
in the month of July. To enter, all you have to do is click the link in the description and be prepared anywhere you go.
Gaming journalism consists of genetically underprivileged people. It seems like a prerequisite for all of its staff to look like creatures from the island of Dr. Moreau, or offenders. And I know what you're thinking. It takes one to know one, and you'd be correct. Ninja was under fire for an incredibly base take, and not so much for the fact that he's so pale that he's almost translucent. One could argue that he's always in a state of oblivion bloom.
I go out of my way to make sure that I'm never alone in a room with another woman. Ever, in any moment. Never alone with a woman. Even if it's my PR person and it turns out that she's a woman, it doesn't matter who it is. They could work for me, whatever, bro. There is someone else, preferably a man, in that room with me at all times, or I'll leave instantly. That's like fidelity, right? As for anything else, dude, I don't DM anyone. I DM my boys, my friend Frederick. I DM guys in the community. There are no private messages going on with any girls. They disgust me. And if there are, it's someone like Chica, or like, people in the space, so that I feel safe. And then I immediately let my wife know. Like people that I know, bro. If I don't know you, I'm not DMing you. I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to find out that you're only 7. That would be mortifying.
In the modern age where digital lynch mobs comprised of the socially and financially inept seeking a scapegoat for all of their life's woes, the next internet villain to string up, an age where leaking DMs have become a fast track to momentary notoriety because attention is currency, Ninja's course of action makes total sense. You can't be dragged into a scandal if you do not allow for any unforeseen variables. Lest we forget, after Dr. Disrespect was dead and buried, his thirsty DMs to a transsexual streamer that also sells feet pics on the side, if you catch my drift, were leaked. It was like watching a duck get nuked from orbit.
I will try to vid chat you soon. I'm heading to the gym. Gotta get fit. Don't be a stranger. Message me sometime. You gotta get some photos sent your way.
I mean, I'm gripping now. Boom. The phrase, I'm gripping now, boom, has lived rent-free in my head ever since. Of course, female gaming journalists put down their expensive latte paid for on the company dollar and set aside their brochure for egg freezing to fight the patriarchy.
He said this forever ago, so I'll just repeat what I said then. This line of thinking is so deeply misogynistic, you do you, I guess. But you're admitting you see women's presence as inherently sexual. You're directly contributing to the gaming industry remaining a boys' club.
Could you imagine how this got under her skin years ago that Ninja said this, that she still is tilted by it? So he repeated it. Who cares? So he doesn't want to possibly be implicated in any sort of BS. He saw Mr. Beast get dragged by proxy, and still, it's a problem. No, what Ninja said is he isn't interested in talking to random people because he doesn't want to find out they're 7 and then boom, someone leaks a DM and goes,
Ninja found out I was 7 and he tried to sell me some headbands.
He was trying to grow me into a pay pig.
God, if I made this much money as this dude, if I had as much time and influence and said, I don't work with men and won't be in the same room as one alone, the backlash should be astonishing.
Yes, in this day and age where basically women on TikTok have made an entire career off of hating men Hell, they've made it their entire personality.
Already blocked one person who retweeted me and essentially said maybe he just doesn't want women to make stuff up and try to control the narrative like you're doing, thus proving his point. Because I have literally zero desire to deal with annoying people who hate women.
Yeah, it seems like what you're doing isn't annoying, spiteful, or hateful at all, huh? This is just good old-fashioned journalism and speaking truth to power, isn't it? An emotional response to an innocuous comment from Ninja that every other fully functioning adult not on the spectrum ignored or didn't even know existed. But when you see everything through the lens of intersectional feminism, everything is problematic, except what you think and feel. Your feelings trump everything, including reality. As AOC once said, it's better to be morally correct than factually correct. But this is par for the course. In fact, I dare say it's on brand. It seems only women in first world countries go out of their way to find oppression, even if it's from the luxury of their electric car while using their smartphone. Alyssa Mercante weighed in because she lives on Twitter. I'm waiting for the day when she storms the Twitter HQ and sets up an autonomous zone just to piss off Elon Musk. Nothing would give her, nor I, more perverse pleasure. Alyssa rose to prominence in 2024, the year when everything was made of awful, and she's no exception. Her journalism style could be best described as repugnant news, where she recounts recent events through the lens of a distressed liberal slowly descending into madness, while willingly omitting information and seeking out the most extreme cases of actual bigotry to support her narrative. She would have made a great Democratic politician.
This is why gamers are not okay.
I'm never alone in a room with another woman, says Ninja. Ninja spoke on his relationship and why he never DMs anyone outside of his boys. Incredibly smart business decision. 1, he never upsets his wife. 2, he's never pulled into drama. 3, he'll never have to worry about his wife leaving him and taking his money because she knows where he's at all the time. She has his balls in her purse. Isn't that what liberal women want? How come they're so hard to please?
A misogynistic culture that continues to demonize women and queer folks while glorifying mediocre or outright problematic straight white men.
There's so much here to unpack. 1, where did the queer folks come from? Ninja didn't say anything about queer people at all. This is projection. She's putting words into his mouth, or she's just adding it in there for buzz to try and get people riled up, the people that actually follow her. And they're like, wait a minute, what did ninjas do to the gays? A misogynistic culture. Ninja's just like, everybody's getting in trouble for wild stuff. I'm gonna avoid that by not speaking to random women in DM. Then she goes after him and glorifies his mediocrity, as if she wrote a Pulitzer Prize winning article complaining about gamers not liking sweet baby games. Tell us again how everybody not interested in Assassin's Creed Shadows is a Trump supporter or some wild ass take. Jesus Christ, Kotaku is literally the epicenter of mediocrity. The square root of mediocrity is Kotaku. Last I recall, Ninja's been happily married for years. I can't say the same about Melissa Mercante. He's a multimillionaire despite looking like a lesbian librarian. More often than not, one could say that Ninja probably goes to the same bar as Ellen DeGeneres. You'd think this would be enough for Alyssa Mercante. Frankly, if Ninja's not okay, none of us are. But this is on brand for liberal women. Studies show they are the most miserable people in the country. And judging by these 2 tweets, they sure as f*** are. Oh God, at least in the 1950s, women could take mommy's little helper to get through lunchtime with the kids. Today, they look for the next protest meetup spot to shout, "Eat the rich!" hoping that it will fill the hunger in their souls as they wait for their OFANS payment to come through so they can make rent. Take that, patriarchy. The modern progressive woman's postmortem depression isn't a child, it's their lives, constantly giving birth to new versions of themselves, more miserable than the last. Normally, this wouldn't be an issue, but they seem hell-bent on dragging the rest of us down with them.